Thank you, Kelsey, and welcome everyone to our session today on engaging students through reimagined wearable pregnancy simulations. The power of an immersive wearable simulation experience, to walk in the shoes of an expectant parent is very engaging and very memorable for your students. This approach can teach transferable career skills as well as foundational knowledge. And recognizing that pregnancy and childbirth is taught within two disciplines, family and consumer sciences, and also health science, we have two brand new versions of the Pregnancy Profile Simulator that were developed in the past year. And today we're going to give you a chance to see both of these powerful new tools in action. And here's just a short agenda of what we're going to be covering during our time together. We're going to talk a little bit about the power of those wearable simulation experiences on students. Then we are going to show you all the parts and pieces for the Pregnancy Profile 2.0 and the obstetric simulator version, because there are two different versions of it. We're going to do a demonstration and show you how to put it on and how it works. Then we are going to do a curriculum overview, and we are going to share at least 3 different activities from the curricula that you can take back and use with your own students. And then we've got some additional free resources and activities that we are going to be sharing at the end. So we're hoping that you'll walk away with some new information on pregnancy simulations, as well as some activities and some different information you can share with your students. So wearable simulation experiences, as you know, helps those students get into the same shoes as the individuals with that condition, whether it be temporary or permanent. And we want to take a moment just to highlight 3 very powerful benefits of wearable simulation. Benefit number 1 is, of course, the ability to gain empathy and understanding. And I really love this quote. It said, "The incorporation of the student in the patient's position during healthcare simulation allows for a challenging and empathetic experience that helps the learners to understand life from a patient's perspective." And that's both physically and emotionally. So just some very powerful words there. The second benefit to a wearable simulation is that it truly gives students the ability to hone on some of their soft skills, especially communication if they're going into healthcare. And again, another great quote that I found, unlike mannequin simulations, which really only allow your learners to practice procedural skills, high-fidelity wearable simulators provide learners with the ability to practice communication skills. So if you are going to be a future healthcare provider working with expectant parents, or even counseling, anything like that, certainly a wearable pregnancy experience would be a wonderful way to understand and be able to practice those communication skills. And then depending on that wearable simulator, there are also opportunities to learn technical skills through a wearable simulation experience as well. And here's one that I found, a quote that said, "Through the use of the wearable simulated maternity model that this particular study had used, they found that students enjoyed the authentic, immersive approach to midwifery simulation, using real people to practice clinical and communication skills rather than just those inanimate objects such as mannequins or part task training models." So we're going to share all the rich benefits today with you of our brand new version of our pregnancy profile simulator. And we've built on the foundation of our award-winning pregnancy profile simulator. We didn't want to take away anything that provided that good wearable simulation experience of what we have with our pregnancy profile. However, we wanted to build in more value and just make it even more realistic and just a better teaching tool. And because there are 2 different types of teachers that would be using something like this, and some of the skills training is different, that is why we have the 2 different versions that we will be sharing with you today. The first one is our Pregnancy Profile 2.0 simulator, and we feel this one would be best suited for family and consumer science based on the content that they teach. But just a reminder that it replicates the 3rd trimester of pregnancy. So you put on the vest and all the things, and you really begin to understand pregnancy's impact on the body. And you're feeling everything from elevated body temperature to that average 25 to 30 pound of weight gain. You've got bladder pressure. You feel the fetal movement, a little bit difficulty breathing. So a lot of different things that you're experiencing when you put it on. And also with empathy, you've got it on, you can then understand what the individual that's going through this is experiencing as well. So a tool like this is really perfect for something like child development classes, nursing or obstetrics, midwife and doula instruction, even prenatal and parenting classes in clinics and so forth, health occupations classes. This makes a fantastic career exploration tool to put on students and get them interested perhaps in working in this area of healthcare. If you remember or are familiar with our Pregnancy Profile Classic, the things that differ in this version, first of all, we have taken the water bladder that used to be just like a opaque black, and we've now turned it into a transparent amniotic sac. Like you see in the picture here, you fill it up with the hot water, and we now also provide a 30-week fetus. You insert that into that amniotic sac, and that provides that fetal movement. You could also use that 30-week fetus as a fetal model, passing it around, talking about all of the developmental milestones at the 30-week period and so forth. Still comes with the handy carrying bag. You still get the weight bag that you zip in for that added extra weight of pressing on the bladder. You'll still get the rib constrictor belt, which simulates difficulty breathing, but also fetal limbs poking into your rib cage. And then we have also added a very nice fetal development poster. We've got lessons in the curricula that talk about fetal development month to month. So this is a nice visual you can put up in your classroom as you're teaching that lesson as well. And in a little bit later in our webinar, we will be putting this simulator on our model. So the second version of this is our Pregnancy Profile 2.0 Obstetrics Simulator. And if you think about it, health science will teach things a little bit differently. So the difference in this and the previous version, we've added even more to it. First of all, you get a second fetal model that you can insert. It represents 38 weeks. So now you've got the visual 30-week and the 38-week to show, compare and contrast everything that's developed in the last 8 weeks. But then when you put that 38-week fetus into the amniotic sac and you put the vest on your individual, now you have the opportunity to practice hands-on Leopold's maneuvers. You also receive a poster that has the visual and instructions on how to do each of the Leopold's maneuvers, but you are able to practice that in utero using this tool. Another thing that we have added is the ability to listen to 4 different fetal heart rates. There are 4 audio cards that you tuck into a pocket inside of the pregnancy profile vest. And then we have a reality scope. There are 2 of them that you will be able to clip onto a standard stethoscope, and then you are able to listen to 4 different fetal heart rates. You'll have normal 30-week, normal 38-week, bradycardia and tachycardia, or bradycardia and tachycardia. So the slow, the fast, and the normal. And it just gives it more teaching time, more value especially with those health science students that you want to help them hear that fetal heart rate. So that is the difference between the 2 different packages. This one just builds on and has a more advanced version of the product, if you will. So here are the package contents that I've just described, and you can see everything pretty much that you get in the 2.0 simulator, you also get in the obstetric. The difference is instead of the fetal development poster, in the obstetric, you will get the Leopold's maneuver poster and those 4 heartbeat audio cards, the 2 reality scopes, and so forth. So those are the package differences, and comes with that 2-year warranty. And it comes with a very robust curriculum that we are going to be talking about more in depth after our demonstration. So a few of the main features that we'd like to point out between both versions of the Pregnancy Profile 2.0 is that the vest itself is very flexible as far as sizing. It has 3 different adjustable straps. The shoulders also adjust. So if you're tall, short, whatever, it's a one size fits most vest. And when you fill that amniotic sac up with warm water and you put that fetus in, you will then simulate that elevated body temperature. You'll feel that fetal movement. The rib constrictor belt, again, is pressing against your rib cage, difficulty breathing. You've got the water or the weight bag that's really pressing on your bladder, so you can feel that. And that average 25 to 30 pound weight gain will also change your center of gravity. So once you have that on, students, we recommend about 20 minutes. They'll have it on and do a series of different physical activities so they can understand what it's like to have to move with your center of gravity shifted and so forth. You do get one or the other of the two posters for visual reference to put up in your classroom. We've built in the storage case, so when you're done with the lesson, you can put it away and keep it clean and safe in a storage area. But that comprehensive curriculum is one of the primary features of this, because you will get a dozen lessons, up to 30 hours of content. You get assessment built in and slide presentations, facilitator notes. You don't even have to be an expert in pregnancy and field development to be able to teach a very powerful lesson using this tool. So if you're in, if you've got students in person, it's great for that in-class training and demonstration. But if you have some students that are remote, you could also have them watch while you do a demonstration, putting it on a model and so forth. Again, you've got that hands-on practice doing a few different things with the Leopold's maneuvers. And if you buy the obstetric version, you've also got those fetal heart rates. We know that there are other wearable pregnancy simulators out there in the market. One thing we just want to point out is the fact that ours is the only one that comes with that 30 hours of curriculum. That is really a huge advantage and benefit to purchasing the Pregnancy Profile 2.0. And we are the only one now with this transparent amniotic sac and fetal inserts to make that realism just that much more powerful. So at this time, I'm going to call in my model and we are going to set up for our demonstration. So just give me one moment here to get the video on. And here we go. So we've got our model here, and the first thing we're going to do is we are going to put on our rib constrictor belt, and this goes on right underneath the rib cage. And you can see it's got a lot of Velcro, so you can cinch it real nice and tight. And then we are going to insert our amniotic sac with the 30 weeks. I've got the 30-week model in here so you can see how cool and realistic it really looks. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to insert that into the pocket on our pregnancy profile vest. And it just zips in like the old water bladder used to. Right, now I'm going to put my vest on our model. And you can see in the back here, we've got 3 different adjustable straps, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to strap Emily in. Turn, please. Thank you. Thank you. All right, once we have your student all in the vest, that's when they go through that series of physical activities and things like that, sitting down, picking your pencil up, tying their shoe, going up and down stairs, and they can feel the difference in the center of gravity being right here. Now, the one difference that we're going to show you of the obstetric version is we're going to take one of our audio cards. And this is one of those 4 that I talked about, the normal, we have the bradycardia and the tachycardia. And inside of the vest here, there is actually a pocket. And you go ahead and then you can tuck this card right in the pocket. Zip it back up. And then you're going to take the reality scope and you're going to put it right on a standard stethoscope. It just clicks right in. And then you as the student can go ahead and use your stethoscope to listen to those 4 different fetal heart rates. And they can go like this, and it just makes it that much more realistic, a better teaching tool. Simple to put on and off. When you are done with it, you simply unclick the 3 adjustable straps, and you take off your constrictor belt, and there you go. Thank you very much. And now we're going to go back to our regular slide presentation. So you can see from that demo how easy it is to be able to get in and out of that, and how rich that experience can be for your students. So now we're going to take a closer look at the curriculum that accompanies both versions of this. So first of all, you've got 12 different lessons. Here are all the different lesson topics. There's quite a variety. If you taught everything in the curriculum, it would be around 26 to 32 hours, depending on how much time you have to devote and even how deep you want to go into each of the lessons. There's also a summative assessment that can be used kind of as a final test if you desire, and we also provide the answer key to that as well. And if you're interested in learning more in depth about learning objectives of each lesson, I've got the link here. It will take you to the curriculum overview for the pregnancy profile curriculum. But again, it's just it's a wealth of information. And if you are not an expert on this topic, it makes it very, very easy for you to be able to teach. So now we're going to take a closer look at some of the lessons. Now, the very first lesson is a standalone career exploration lesson, learning about many careers relating to pregnancy and childbirth. Things like doulas, midwives, pediatric nurses, obstetricians, etc. They are learned about, and then part of this lesson is a research project where students will take a deep dive into one area. In both versions of the pregnancy profile simulator, you use it for that, immersive experience. And there's a whole lesson devoted just to that. So students will put it on and they'll feel the common physical symptoms of that third trimester. You can use the amniotic sac and fetus to simulate that, elevated body temperature and fetal movement. You can take that fetal model out, pass it around, but we recommend your students wear it approximately 20 minutes and then go through that series of physical tasks that are included in the immersive lesson. We also do include a lesson on fetal heart sounds, and that's lesson 5. It's the medical aspects of pregnancy, and your students are going to learn about all sorts of medical issues surrounding pregnancy. So if you purchase the obstetric version, students will then use their stethoscopes. They're going to attach to that reality scope. They're going to listen to the fetal heart sounds. And then, one student could be the patient while the other one is the medical professional. And then they could go ahead and switch roles in that case. Then there is a lesson in the curriculum devoted entirely to Leopold's maneuvers as well. So again, if you have that obstetric version, you can put that poster up that references how to do it. The slide and lecture portion of the lesson explain and show how to do them. And then you insert that 38-week fetus into the amniotic sac, and you can have that hands-on practice. Now, you could pair up a student, so one student could be wearing the pregnancy profile, acting as that expectant mother, while the other is the medical professional doing the Leopold's maneuver. Or you could even put the pregnancy profile on an adult mannequin and do the hands-on practice in that manner as well. So now we want to go into the curriculum and give you some specific activities and ideas that you can use in your classes regarding childbirth and pregnancy, whether or not you even have the pregnancy profile. So the first one is called the Trimester Development Mix-Up. And if you go to the link on the product page for the Pregnancy Profile 2.0, there is a sample from the curriculum, and this is at that link. You can follow the instructions above to do the activity. So, you print them out, you cut them apart, and you create the 3 piles by trimester. There's all sorts of different characteristics there. And students have to, think logically about which trimester that each thing is happening in. You can, as a full class, you can share your answers. There's debrief questions, or another way you could do it is as a think, pair, share activity. Students could pair up and you could give them one set of the characteristic cards and then time them, giving them maybe 5 minutes to sort through them into the trimesters, share the answers, and whoever has the most correct answers wins that round. So here's an activity that we find in lesson 3 of the title of that lesson is Pregnancy Symptoms and Discomforts. And you'd follow the instructions here to search online or YouTube for a pregnancy blog or video, and then you'd answer the questions that are provided here on the screen. And this is actually in the lesson, but you could freeze frame this if you're watching this back on video, and you could use this activity in your classroom right away. This activity comes to us from lesson 6, pregnancy risks to the mother and unborn child. And for this particular one, each participant has to choose their role in a group. You're going to have 5 participants in a group. You're going to have a group leader and timekeeper, a facilitator. You're going to have a reporter, a materials manager, and a fact checker. And in the lesson, it explains what each of those particular roles does in the thing, and there's even a grading rubric as well. So you could follow the general requirements and the rubric for this as you assign the genetic disease. A few of the ones that you could do were Edwards syndrome, congenital adrenal hyperplasia, Klinefelter syndrome. You could do cystic fibrosis, hemophilia, sickle cell anemia, Turner syndrome, Fragile X syndrome. There's even more than that. But this really gives your students a chance to hone their research skills in a small group activity. But also at that point, when they're putting together their presentations, they're also exposing and giving other students information about many different genetic diseases that can be a part of pregnancy. So another resource we want to point out that we have a blog on our website, and there was a particular one written that included 3 different activities that you could do either in class or even remotely if that's the environment you're in. One was using everyday household objects to understand fetal development month to month, and that's a really fun one for students to do. In the second one, they are challenged with creating a really healthy pregnancy meal plan for an expectant mother. And then the last one is making an at-home pregnancy simulation experience if they're remote and not able to put on the pregnancy profile vest. So all of that you can find at this link in one of our blogs. A few more resources that we have that we'd like to pass along. The first link will take you to an archived webinar, and it's got activities and resources all about teaching birth defects and disorder lessons. That webinar lasts around half hour or so, but that's a really good one. And then the second link is to a free lesson from our child development online course. And the free lesson topic is fetal development. So it is a perfect fit for teaching pregnancy and having the Pregnancy Profile 2.0. And it just gives you a free lesson to try with your students, and it's all online. So you can go ahead and type in your name, get that free trial, and use that lesson. So if you look online for sources for other lesson plans, there are really quite a few out there. And as I did some research for this webinar, I just wanted to highlight a few that I found that I thought would be worth passing along to you today. The first link is from Advocates for Youth, and it includes 2 different 45-minute lessons on pregnancy, and the target is high school students. If you go to that link, it's a 12-page document, but it has handouts and all the information you need to teach those lessons. The second link comes to us from Texas CTE Resource Center, and this lesson covers 5 45-minute class periods. And if you click on the link, you will find things like links and handouts, instructions, and even more. The third link was from Youth Do It. And when you click on it, you get a 5-page document. It's for a one-hour lesson on understanding how pregnancy occurs and how to recognize the signs of pregnancy. And then that fourth link, I think, is my favorite. It's an absolute goldmine of lesson plans and information on teaching about this topic. So it includes dozens of related lessons. There's PowerPoint slides, hundreds of handouts. So that's, again, a must-see website for teaching pregnancy. There are also a few more free resources that we'd like to leave you with today before we do our Q&A. First of all, we do webinars each and every month, just like today. You can sign up for free. Many of them are related to family consumer science topics or health science. So we would love to have you check out any upcoming ones. Sign up even if you're teaching and can't attend live, because we always record everything and we archive them for future viewing at your discretion. We have a lot of free lessons on pregnancy and childbirth. And at this link under Family and Consumer Science, you will find one specifically devoted to childbirth related careers. So under Health Science, there's an entire 5-lesson unit also on therapeutic services career exploration. So if you're looking to augment what you're doing in that area, might be a great place to go. Another thing that we have are some free classroom resources available at the links that you see on the screen. The first one has several different posters and infographics that are appropriate. And then the second one will give you access to several guides with more free lessons and some links to some soft skill lessons. So more freebies. Additionally, Reality Works, we would like to connect with you all through our social media. And we've got many different things. I've talked about the blog, but we are active on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, TikTok, many things. So if you're looking for more engaging places to see what's happening with Reality Works products, or even for some classroom ideas, those are some great places to go. Oh, Twitter too. So in honor of CTE month, we are giving away one of our soft skill programs. And these classroom kits include things like student workbooks, activities, presentation slides, and assessments to supplement your current lessons, or even to create a brand new unit to help your students build in-demand soft skills for any career. So you can enter by following the link here, and the winner will be announced on March 1st of this year. So Kelsey has been monitoring our chat throughout this webinar, and at this time, we would like to open it up for any questions you may have had on any of the content we shared today. Kelsey, do you have any questions that have been posed on the chat?
Yeah, while we wait for some questions to come in, can you review what everyone will be receiving after the webinar, Denise?
Yes, you will be receiving a link to this presentation. You'll also be getting a PDF of the PowerPoint slide presentation. There will be a handout with any of the links and resources referred to throughout the presentation. If you're with us live, you will get a certificate of participation as well.
Great. Just a couple questions that have rolled in. Is this product appropriate for middle school students?
It is absolutely perfect for middle school students, and the way it's used most frequently that we have seen so far for a career exploration, it's really engaging. So if you've got any kind of a school-wide job fair or any type of thing like that, it works really well for that. We also do see some health educators using it when they're doing any kind of a reproduction and pregnancy and even maybe some sex education content. And then, of course, family and consumer science teachers do also teach human growth and development across the lifespan. And this is certainly an appropriate experience for upper middle school to have.
Awesome. And can you use any stethoscope with the Reality Scope?
Yes, any standard size stethoscope, the Reality Scope will fit on that.
Perfect. And then what is the cost of these and how would I go about purchasing?
The pricing it can be found on the product pages at realityworks.com. Whether you go under health science or family and consumer science, there's a drop down for reproduction and pregnancy. It's also under new products. And there's a page devoted entirely to each of the different ones. You'll see pricing on that, as well as curriculum samples, any standards, features, contents, everything that you get with it. So that would be your best source for the most up-to-date pricing.
Perfect. Well, I am not seeing any more questions roll in at this time then.
Great. Well, thank you everyone for spending the time to learn about these 2 new versions of the Pregnancy Profile Simulator. We are so excited to unveil these and get these in students' hands. We believe that the changes and the upgrades we've made to them will make it an even more valuable wearable pregnancy simulation experience. Thank you very much.